This is the bottom of a platform, and you can see the coasters, the casters up here. The white things are the caster mounting blocks. So we've got pivot casters in the front and fixed casters in the back. This is the carriage assembly. This is where all the magic works. So this is the front, and that is the back. Now up here, I'm gonna show you how this is the tow bar, and this is a carriage assembly. So I'm gonna show you how these work with each other. This is the tow bar housing. This is the tow bar. I've got a spring-loaded pop pin here that I can engage from the top. But this is why this actually works well. So the tow bar is going to have at least 2 hinges in it, and possibly sometimes 3, depending on what the customer actually needs. This is what connects the platforms together, and this also allows for some optional things to happen. When you're in transit, this is the tow bar top plate. This is connected to the platform in front of it. When you're transporting from one warehouse to another, this is the setting you want. And this is going to make the platforms about 1 inch apart. When it's time to unload them, if you need to come straight out, you don't have to do anything. If you have the warehouse space to bring 12 of these platforms out at one time, great. You can empty the whole trailer for that row in about 30 to 60 seconds. If you need to come out and turn around a corner, you want to engage in this particular hole. Now, the tow bar, inside the tow bar housing, I've got some metal plates in here that stop us from going too far in either direction. Right now, this is a 10-degree left and 10-degree right, and I can change those to give it even more. The larger the range of degrees this can move, the shorter distance you can actually turn the corners in. With a 10-degree setup in here, you will be able to turn corners in about an 18-foot space. In other words, from the end of the trailer out 18 feet, that's how much space you need to turn corners with the pallet train. So now, this also features a set screw that goes into here. Now, in this particular model, the slot that this set screw goes in is on the top plate. This is the bottom plate, the top plate's back here. So I can't actually put this in there with the set screw in there. But once the set screw is in there, that slot in there prevents this from coming out, even if the pop pin does not engage the tow bar. Now, here's what's also unique about this. The knuckles for the hinges are designed to create X amount of movement here, up and down. And this is going to allow you to go over uneven surfaces with your whole pallet train and still compensate for that. I'll show you a close-up of that in just a second. So this is the meat and potatoes of the whole system right here. This is what our main focus is. All this other stuff on here, these are options. Now, also down here, we've got some additional support. So let's zoom in on this so you can see what this additional support looks like. This is an option for people who need to put heavier weights in here. This is kind of like an angle iron here. You see I've got a separate piece of metal welded to this guy. These are pretty thick. So this additional piece right here, as opposed to just this by itself, this is going to give me a lot more capacity for this platform right here. So in my drawings, I've got, this is the carriage assembly here. This is the front. That's the tow bar housing. This is the back. This is where it connects to the platform behind it. So this is figure 3. That's the carriage assembly. Figure 4, it shows the internal positioning of these plates to create the restrictions that I have on the tow bar to move. So this is the top plate. Here's a bottom plate with a slot that I was talking to you about. This set screw moves in. And in figure 5, it shows the tow bar and the tow bar housing top plate. And this shows you where the restrictions are for this moving left and right. And then on 6, it shows you the tow bar itself. Here's the standard tow bar with 2 knuckles. Here's a custom one with 3 knuckles. And this shows you the movement of the tow bar up and down, and also this gives you some very specific guidelines to how the end of the knuckle, this is the actual knuckle on the hinge, and that knuckle has to be grinded at a certain angle here and here to allow a certain amount of this movement up and down of the tow bar. Here are 4 platforms linked together, and this is basically the transport mode. In other words, the platform's only about an inch separation between them, here and here. Now this was when the first prototype made. You notice it's missing a lot of stuff that the second one has. We're using basic pins in the end of this, in both of these, but you can see these have perimeter stops on the outsides and on both sides, on the front and back. And the third prototype is what we use for the optional tray. So these are the posts that connect down here like so, and they are connected on the bottom with this pin right here. So that's what holds these in place. Angle braces here for support. So this is the platform without the tray itself. There is a tray over there standing up. I'm going to show the bottom of that to you so you can see how that works. Okay, so here's the tray. This is the side. This is the front. This is the back. This is what it looks like from this angle. So these tubes here are what slide over the vertical post that go up and down. You put the safety pin in here, and you adjust this to different height you have. This is the center support here. This has got an extra piece of angle iron welded onto it for additional support. So this secondary tray here, or this tray platform, this gives you some options that you don't normally get on regular pallets. And that is, you can put very specific product on top of this, and very specific product on the platform itself, and they could be going to the same place. This is going to allow you to take your platform off of your trailer and roll it directly out onto the floor. If you've got something on this particular platform and tray platform that says row 19, you'll know exactly where to take your stuff. So this is how the tray operates independently. And inside it looks like this. So depending on how much weight you need in here, you may get a piece of angle iron, and if you don't, you just get a piece of sheet metal under there, depending on how much weight you need that tray to carry. All right, and so you can see down here on the tow bar in the middle here, see that hole usually was engaged in this pop pin here. So I have disengaged this pop pin with the pop pin puller, which is this guy right here, and looks like this on the end. And now I can literally move the front platform forward, and eventually that will engage into the transport hole. Now these platforms can actually turn corners when they come out of the trailer. Okay, when you're coming over an uneven surface like this and your platforms have to drop, this is how the tow bar enables you to move into those surfaces without interfering with the pallet behind you. You can see now that the tow bar is at an angle. That gives you the option to go over uneven surfaces without damaging your platform or the freight on them. This is how the pop pin puller works. You've got a loop here on the top of the pop pin. Put this guy down like this, that comes up there, this comes out like so. Once you've got it released, you can then move your tow bar to where you want it to go. That's how your top. So this is your pop pin puller plate here. This is your top of your pop pin puller. And this is called a handle here, even though it's just a loop. Perimeter stop here. These are your angle braces on the side here. These are your corner plates, corner tubes. Inside this plate actually houses this guy. And these are your corner guards right here. What's missing on this particular platform here is the platform hooks. Here is a platform hook. So this is the guy that will go on here that you will attach your nets to help prevent you from having to use so much pallet wrap. I've got 4 platforms connected, and I have tow bars on loading mode, which means there's about a foot of space in between each pallet. Up forward. Run over uneven surfaces.